we are live, back again with a brand new edition of the Pigskin Live, the world's flyest podcast. I'm your co-host Sean, aka Swank Soul. I'm here with my brother Hazi. How you doing tonight, brother? We back to back. We going back to back.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling great. AFC got stronger today. Some breaking, huge news coming out of the NFL as Russell Wilson was traded to the Denver Broncos. Bro, nobody called that. We didn't call that. I can't sit here and lie, act like we knew what was
We
going on
didn't.
with that.
We didn't. And let's start out real quick. Just giving a shout out to the Broncos head coach and GM. They think about this, bro. Their backup plan for Aaron Rodgers was Russell Wilson. Like that's some gangster shit. Like they was really moving like what up, Trav? What up? Or Justin, I should say Rip Trav, R.I.P. But um, nah, that's crazy to me. That's so crazy to me. That's like trying to bag Sweetie and missing and then getting with Meg Thee Stallion. Like, come on now. Like that's elite. That is elite. And you're right. No one expected this. No one called this. Um, I didn't really think
Yeah.
that Denver was that attractive of a place to go to play, but it was reported that he did choose Denver over Washington. So it seems like he does want to be there, and I mean, I'm excited. We talked about the chance of them getting Aaron Rodgers and how crazy that offense would be. I think it's just as good with a guy like Russell Wilson.
For sure. I don't know how you can say that when people come to Pittsburgh. So,
Well, I mean, Pittsburgh, I feel
way
like
more.
Pittsburgh, you go to
I
Pittsburgh
mean,
not because of the
Denver
city.
has 3 championships, one of the biggest stadiums in the NFL. It's not, yeah, they might be kind of mid today, 2020. Well, no longer, but
Mhm.
they might be mid of recent, but they're still a historic team. Like, same reason I think people go to Pittsburgh just because they know, like, a champion every year they're going to try and win a championship,
That's what it really
and they're
is,
done
yeah.
rebuilding. They said, we're finished with that. And they said, we're going to go get our quarterback. Kind of risked it all, honestly. And they did the same thing for Peyton Manning, and you see how that worked
It's
out.
true. Bought them a bowl, so they're trying to strike lightning, have lightning strike
Also,
twice.
Russell Wilson is the first quarterback to ever sign with the team he beat in the Super Bowl ever. That's some
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's
fun
cool. That is
fact
a
that
fun
I
fact.
just discovered.
Guys, so real quick, let's go over the exact details. The oh, let me find this. Let me find this. Give me a sec. Okay, so the Denver Broncos went ahead and acquired Seattle Seahawks quarterback, obviously Russell Wilson, as well as a fourth round pick in exchange for two first rounders, two second rounders, a fifth rounder, Drew Lock, defensive tackle Shelby Harris, and tight end Noah Fant, per Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero. So I saw this floating around Twitter, and when I read this, I thought personally that this was a good trade for both sides. To be honest, I thought it didn't really go one way or another. But I'm starting to see a lot of people feel like potentially the Seahawks got fleeced. Are you a part of that train?
For sure, only because the Seahawks aren't known to draft well. So like they can't be trusted to honestly develop a quarterback in this year's draft or even next year. So I think that they did get fleeced for sure. However, I did see that they did release Bobby Wagner today, saving them 16 million in cap space. So they're going to use that money to try and get some more weapons or maybe a tier B quarterback. As long as they move on from
Drew
uh
Lock.
Drew Lock, I don't think he's the answer. There's no way that they get this guy today and actually believe that he's going to do something. He's not an upgrade over Geno Smith.
Definitely not. I'd rather have Geno Smith, 100%. And I mean, one quarterback that's been connected to them is Matt Corral. I know Pete Carroll and the GM as well as the owner had a couple meetings during the combine with Matt Corral. He didn't get to work out, obviously, because of his injury, but they definitely seem to be interested in him. I think Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, we talked about that yesterday when we streamed. They had great combines. Carson Strong and Desmond Ritter, two other guys that had also pretty good combines. So I think that if the Seahawks are going to be in the market and, like you said, aren't going to go ahead and stick with Drew Lock for the foreseeable future or Geno Smith, I think they have options, right? I don't think they're stuck. But you make a very interesting point. I guess I never really paid attention too much or thought about it, but off the top of my head, you're right. The Seahawks aren't really known to draft well. Just in general. I mean, obviously they drafted Russell Wilson and they got DK and a few other players. So it's not like they're that.
Russ is
But
generational.
that's what I'm saying.
I
They kind of got
mean,
lucky
you
on that,
can't
right?
miss on that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Cincinnati. I mean, they had the number one overall pick and they get a generational player. I don't think that like you can really miss on those types of
Hmm.
guys. Russ didn't go number one overall, but I'll give them that. That's one out of how many, 10 in a
Yeah.
decade.
My thing is though, I know obviously the Rams are the biggest example of F them picks, win now, like acquire players, and I get that, and I get maybe draft picks aren't as valuable as maybe they once were, but I think any time you have two top 32 picks, you're in a good position. And then on top of that, they got two more second rounders, so they're gonna have three picks in the top 60 for the next 2 or 3 years. I think that if the Seahawks have a plan and this wasn't just a spur of the moment, a whim, a flash of the pan where they're just like, F it, get him out of here, I think then they can have some success if they have a plan because I wish my team had two first round draft picks. I'll tell you that right now. So I think if they know what they're doing and they have prospects that they identified, I think they could definitely make a splash.
Matt Corral.
Yeah, and I think this year's draft pick that they got from Denver is pretty high, right? I don't know what Denver was picking before, but I think it's probably within the top 20, right? They didn't make the playoffs, so they got pick number 9, which was their own, and then they'll get a top 15 pick. So this is a very good draft class. So if they get their quarterback at 9, there's gonna be plenty of options for them at 15. At
Nine. It is
it's
nine. It's
9.
picking nine,
Yeah.
picking top 10.
So
They got a good quarterback.
you would think
And they
so.
should get something out of Drew Lock. He has some value. If they could just do what they did and capitalize behind the scenes like that, they should be able to do something with Drew Lock.
What's really wild to me though is that Pete Carroll really outlasted Russell Wilson as a Seahawk. Like that's one thing I know there were some rumors and I know like it's not a super shock that Russell Wilson was traded. There was talk that he potentially could go multiple places. Um, but it kind of ceased. Pete Carroll had mentioned, no, we're not trading Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson talked about how he wanted to stay, and I just felt like that nothing really was going to come to fruition out of this. So it did take me a little bit by surprise. And I just Pete Carroll's an old man. I think he's in his 70s. Do you really think right now is the smartest time to be going through a
He's
rebuild?
in good shape.
He is in good shape. He's healthy. I'm not gonna. I'm
In
not.
great shape, actually.
But do you really want to
I
go
just
through a
think that
rebuild right now? Like, I guess. I mean, obviously, because releasing Bobby Wagner is also wild to me. I mean, he's one of the top linebackers in the NFL. He's definitely getting a little bit older, so I understand maybe he's not.
I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do it, then now's honestly the perfect
I mean,
time.
yeah,
If
you
you're being honest, like you said, he's not getting any younger. So if you're gonna do a rebuild, why not have him there at the beginning? I mean, not I know that's not a rebuild because he's still in the organization, but in terms of players, why not? Because Russ is coming off his worst year in the league, but we all know he's great, elite, top five. There's no debate. However, he is coming off his worst year in the league, and we don't know how his career is gonna go. I know he's going to Denver and they got some weapons, but we don't know. Seattle doesn't know for sure, obviously. So I just think that if they were gonna try and make a move, then that was a perfect time because if they had waited till after this year, they may not have gotten everything they just got for him. Could have been half if he had another year like he did last year.
yeah. I mean, I agree. I definitely agree with that. That's not a bad take at all. He did struggle a little bit. He was injured as well, though, so I'll give
Yeah, like I said, he's still top five. There's
for
no
sure.
denying that. So it's not like he's a liability. I'm just saying we all seen last year.
For sure.
Looking a
Um,
little lost.
yeah, and I mean the Seahawks were bad, bro. They were bad, and I think it wasn't fully because of the offense. I think their defense was horrid. They need help in the secondary. They need help on the edge, in the middle. They need help everywhere. Literally, the Seahawks are a bad football team, and that's kind of crazy to me, because they were maybe not at the top of the league for the past few years, but it's still they were still always looked at as one of the teams to really contend. Like you always like the Seahawks with Russell Wilson were still always a contender. So that just goes to show the kind of caliber of player that the Broncos are getting. And I guess we could transition and talk about the Broncos now because um, they are really now, I would say, instant Super Bowl contenders. You can argue they have the best offense in their division, and that's saying something because their division features two of the best offenses in the entire league, let alone division. Yeah, I'm willing to debate that. I'm not kidding. Obviously, the biggest question mark would be the
I'll say
Chiefs,
second best, of
but I think they're
course. I'll
deeper
say
than the
second
Chiefs. Let's be
best.
real. I think they're deep. Like KJ Hamler, Jerry Judy, um, Patrick.
I think it's way too early to say that. It's way too early to
Come
say
on,
that.
bro.
I think you
Think
have to
about
wait
both
until the
Melvin
draft.
Gordon,
Wait until
Javante
the draft at
Williams,
least.
Albert O. Who the Chiefs got outside of Tyreek and Kelsey? Pringle, Josh Gordon.
Patrick Mahomes.
That just goes to.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not even talking about Patrick Mahomes. I'm talking about the weapons that the quarterbacks have to work with. Top end is the Chiefs. The Chiefs have the best two, right? If you made a list, Kelsey and Hill are going to be at the top of those lists. But then there's going to be all the Denver Broncos receivers and weapons, and then the rest of the Chiefs weapons. So I would argue they have the better offense, and especially with when it comes to running the ball. Now, I will also give the edge to the Chiefs O line over Denver's O line. So that's why if you were to tell me you think the Chiefs is still better, I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wild for saying that, obviously, because of who the Chiefs are. But I think the Broncos could go out here and put up 30, 35 a game easily.
The
Easily.
Chiefs.
No, the
The
Broncos.
Chiefs. If the Chiefs hit on a player in this year's draft, whether it be JMO or somebody of that caliber, they will 150 million times have a better offense than the Denver Broncos. Because right now, I think it's way better. Their receiving core shits all over the Broncos. I mean, I think Pringle had a better season. He did have a better season. He's better than all the
They were
receivers
playing with
on.
Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock.
I'm just saying, bro.
See,
Wide
Johnny,
receiver
John
five
with
is
me.
better than wide
John with me.
receiver.
Broncos do have better offense. Russ is gonna unlock Jerry Judy and
What?
KJ. I'm
He's
John. I'm
tripping.
telling you,
He's
bro. I'm
tripping.
telling you.
Tripping.
Talk to him,
He's
bro.
tripping.
Talk to him.
He's
The
tripping.
Chiefs are like that.
He's
The Chiefs are
tripping.
definitely like
He's
that.
tripping.
But the Chiefs are carried by Kelsey and Hill and Mahomes. Pringle.
But you're talking about a top two quarterback, a top three tight end, and arguably a top three wide receiver. That is more. That's like you're. It's like comparing a ton to 500 pounds.
Yeah, but you also gotta look at depth. I'm not saying that the top end, the Chiefs got the advantage, but the pure depth, the numbers, bro, and you gotta
But they have
and
it.
bro,
I
the
mean,
running backs, Melvin Gordon and
yeah, no,
Javante
no. The Chiefs can't
Williams.
run the ball. We know that. We know the Chiefs can't run the
So how they
ball.
got a better offense
But
if
do
they, if
they
they're one
have to? I
dimensional?
mean, yeah, they lost. Yeah, they lost. So you're right. The things they need to improve on, they can. But I said it's too early to say the Broncos have a better
Okay.
offense than the Chiefs because, like I said, if the Chiefs go out and get, how about this? The Chiefs go out there and they get Damian Pierce, then what? And they get a JMO. Now you're talking about the best offense in the NFL
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
far because they fixed the running back position. They got another receiver that, like you said, can help them at depth and a superstar receiver at that. I'm not saying the Broncos can't have a better
Mhm.
offense than the Chiefs, but I'm saying right now they don't.
Okay. What
I'm
about what
not
about the
giving it
better
to them. I mean,
team?
Tim Patrick is their best receiver in my opinion.
What about the better team, including
That
defense?
guy is a problem.
You think the Broncos are the better overall
Oh,
team?
defense. Oh, Cincinnati played Denver this year, and that game was just they crawled out that game. It was get it how you could by any means, and the Broncos have a top five defense in the NFL for sure. I mean, they have a top three secondary, in my opinion. Uh, and there's no way the Chiefs have a better defense.
No, not a chance.
That's obvious. I feel like
So
that's
are the
obvious.
Broncos the
Anybody watching
favorite?
football knows that.
It's
Boy,
it's
I
hard.
cannot
It's
wait. I
hard. I
can't
know
wait.
because
I can't wait.
this
I can't
this has been
wait.
the
I
Chiefs'
don't
league the
know.
past couple years. This has been the Chiefs' league, but I mean, we saw them this year. We
Damn.
saw them this year. They
That's
got beat, man. They got beat, and they needed heroics to win against the Bills. So it's the Chiefs
I
aren't what they
think
were.
Denver needs a superstar receiver. I still think they
Yeah,
need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver. I'm not convinced on anybody that's on there. Like I said, Tim Patrick is their best receiver in my opinion. He's more like a Darren Waller tight ends like guy. He's a wide receiver, but the guy
he's
he's
big.
like a tight end.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like I don't.
they definitely got it.
Go ahead.
I'm not convinced on Sutton and Judy. I just don't know.
Yeah, Judy is a big
I
question
just
mark.
don't know anymore.
Judy is definitely a big question
I
mark.
got off that train. I got off that train last year, so it'd be great for him to prove me wrong. But I'm not convinced that he's gonna be the number one
They
superstar
also got KJ.
that they
KJ
need
Hamler
him
is
to be.
also a demon. I mean, they really got four. potentially
Yeah, they got
all
weapons. They
like
got
Pro Bowl wide
weapons,
receivers. All four of those guys could be a Pro Bowler. Not in the same year, maybe,
and they
but
got a great. I think their running backs are better than their receivers.
that's a hot take. But that's not a bad take. It's not a bad take at all. Melvin Gordon had a really good year last year, and Javonte Williams, great rookie season. Probably the second best rookie running back behind Najee last year, for sure. Um, that guy is different. I, I'm hesitant to say that the Broncos are the favorite in that division just because of the lack of experience they've had together. But I just feel like the kind of teammate, quarterback, person, human being that Russell Wilson is, I feel like he's gonna mesh really well with anybody he's gonna play with. Um, they got a new head coach, Nathaniel Hackett, who has been coaching with Aaron Rodgers, so he's used to these high profile quarterbacks. So I think that they're really going to be a dangerous team this year in the AFC West. I definitely think immediately they're better than San Diego, Los Angeles, and Vegas for sure. Now the Chiefs, this has historically been Chiefs league for the past 4 to 5 years, so it's going to be hard to dethrone them preseason, but overall, when I look at both rosters, I just look at the Broncos and it's just like they really.
And they're gonna play at a way different level. Like you know what it is when Russ is on that in
Hmm.
that locker room on that squad.
Hmm.
Like he's also a leader. He's not just a playmaker.
Exactly.
Like he's a real deal captain. Like I mean, I think that Denver will be better than the Chiefs just because us what we sweeping the Chiefs last year. I think we showed their true colors. I mean, the Bengals. A lot of people don't know, but we've been ruining a lot of franchises, ruining a lot of seasons and careers. And we could have exposed the Chiefs honestly at the end of this past season.
Y'all have
They could be
one
struggling.
good season. Now y'all ending
Hey,
careers
I'm
and
just saying we ruined
franchises.
something.
Oh my
We're
god.
ruining careers. I mean, we out here ruining careers. It is what it is.
Oh
It is
my
what it
god.
is.
Yeah, I respect
As
it.
we defend this title, I will
What
preach.
title? The AFC title?
AFC North and the AFC.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Respect on it.
You got it.
Put some spec on it. Put some spec on it. But no, all seriousness, I do think that Denver will ultimately be better. It's just a little too early. Like
Mm,
I wouldn't be surprised if it took the second half of the season for them to really
get mesh. Yeah.
get it going.
Yeah. They got to get.
Especially because they play so fast. I mean, it's gonna get tough. It's gonna get tough because Justin Herbert is going. He's coming for blood this season. I believe it. Somehow he's gonna have to get Anthony Flynn out of his way. But
Not Anthony Flynn.
Matt Flynn, whatever. What is this guy's name? I mix
Um,
it up every single time because
he's a bum.
I know
Brandon
he hates
Staley.
garbage. Justin Herbert. I got. Oh man, my way too early AFC West predictions are gonna go Denver, Kansas City, LA,
Vegas.
Raiders.
Yeah, I think all three of those teams, LA, Denver, and Kansas City, could all be in the playoffs. Like some vintage AFC North talk. That's really, and that's the thing. Like we really the OGs of this tough division. Like every year is really a war in the AFC North. So like to hear everybody like talking about, oh my God, the AFC is this and that, and like dog, like yeah, Denver is gonna be a issue. They're gonna be a great team, but like this is really what it is. That's how if you're gonna be the best, you gotta beat the best. So none of that running away, none of that jibber jabber.
In my opinion, you know why I think Buffalo's defense failed in the playoffs. Not to get a little bit
No, you're
off
fine.
topic, but it relates to what you said. You have to beat the best. They play in such a trash
Hmm.
division. No
Hmm.
offense. So when there's fireworks, when there's fire, they don't know what to do. I mean,
It's true. That's a great point.
you definitely got to play the best. Like iron sharpens iron, and once you get to that postseason and you're 0-0, you see it's up for that Super Bowl is up for grabs. So,
Yeah, you don't ever
like
want to
you
go through a
said,
whole season and not get tested. You always is obviously you don't want to sit here and have the hardest schedule in the league, but at least you'll learn about yourself,
absolutely.
right?
And those are the best teams. You look at the best teams; those are the best
For
teams.
sure,
So
for sure. Let's move off this topic though. Definitely, blockbuster trade, huge. I think it'll obviously be finalized once free agency starts next week. Um, Another massive bomb was dropped today, a little bit earlier. Um, Aaron Rodgers went ahead and signed a contract extension with the Green Bay Packers, making him the highest paid player on a yearly basis in NFL history. I think Patrick Mahomes still has he's the $500 million man, so his total contract's still the most. But Aaron Rodgers is making 50 mil per year, which is the most ever. It's 4 year extension for $200 million. Um,
Sheesh.
that's yeah, that's wild. But what's
How
more,
much guaranteed?
130, 150, something.
I was gonna say I thought it was 150.
I think it is. I don't know exactly. It doesn't show me here.
150.
But what's more crazy to me, outside of the money, is the time, right? Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old. I thought he might sign another like 2 years potentially, maybe three. But to see him sign for 4 years, I'll have him playing until he's what, 43 years old. And obviously, we saw Tom Brady play till he was 44. But do you think that's a smart move to stick with Aaron Rodgers through his old age and pay and give him that much money? Like this is not 31-year-old Aaron Rodgers, right?
I'm
138.
not gonna lie, bro. If that guy doesn't get hit, then it's like he's playing in his backyard.
Mm.
So, same thing to Brady. I think this season really took a toll on him physically. In addition to when he won a Super Bowl, I think that he really thugged it out those last couple years. And Aaron Rodgers is not getting hit like Brady. I mean, he be getting laid out. We all know that vintage picture with his helmet and his chin strap on his face. But if they can keep him upright, then I could see him playing that long. I mean, again, watch that game live in effect this year as well, and that guy is a legend, bro. Is He can play for another 10 years, maybe. Who knows?
But yeah,
And his throwing motion, it's like all he needs is
a
his
flick.
arm. He could be
Yeah,
in a
the
wheelchair
way
back
he
there. I feel
the
like.
way he does throw is definitely all that guap just to lose the Eagles the NFC Championship. You right about losing in the
He's
NFC
right.
Championship. Definitely right about losing the NFC Championship. To the Eagles, I'm not sure, but no, but that's also another thing I was worried about is like we talked about it yesterday, but Aaron Rodgers has not been to the Super Bowl since 2011. Now he won the last time he was there, but one appearance in his entire 16-year career is not really that impressive, to be honest. And you want somebody that you're giving 200 million, $50 million a year to be able to get you there, and he hasn't really shown the fact that he will. Now, getting Aaron Rodgers back also allowed the Green Bay Packers to franchise tag and keep Devonte Adams, which is obviously going to be huge for that organization. Um, but facts, man's really got MVP because of TD interception ratio every year. That's it. He's a he's a TD. He's a ratio
He
merchant.
shouldn't have
He's
got
a
it last
ratio
year. It should
merchant.
have been Joey B's MVP. I don't even know why this award is for the regular season. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Eventually, it's gonna start being discredited if they keep it up.
I think
Let's be
I
real.
think so too. It should definitely be a end
Let's
of the
say
year
Aaron
award.
Rodgers plays another 10 years. Who's to say this guy's not gonna go back to back to back to back to back to back because he's throwing 50 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, but he's losing in the divisional round? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I know probably most Packers fans are happy, right? I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers. That's the guy they've been riding with for mad long, and like you said, he's a legend. But we got to see more, right? He doesn't get a pass because of his name. Any quarterback that gets 4 years, $200 million, you need to be in the Super Bowl in that time frame. If you're not, there's not much else to say. If he doesn't get back to the Super Bowl, don't put him in the Hall of Fame. That's how I'm coming. You feel me? Now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is first
They
ballot,
should have
right?
put that in his contract. I think they can do that,
Hey,
but they didn't. That would have been fire.
I mean, he's just been frauding it up, bro. He just every
Cause you,
year they
cause
just
you
find a
know
new way to
that's
fold.
where he probably wants to be number one Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, this guy's trying to stat pack the hell out them books.
Facts. But yeah, Green Bay keeps their guy. Um, I think Denver was the other choice potentially, but when that fell through, um, that's when Denver swooped in and got Russell Wilson. Um, Facts, John. Keep him. Let's protest the Hall of Fame. Make sure Aaron Rodgers don't get in. Um, some other news. Now that we got through the biggest two pieces, the Dallas Cowboys went ahead and restructured the contract of Dak Prescott um,
Garbage.
Zach Martin, their Pro Bowl guard, and they created about $22 million in cap space. And they also gave their wide receiver Noah Brown a 1-year contract extension. Um, that's obviously to make room in cap space for them. Now, do you think they potentially bring Cooper back or Demarcus Lawrence back now that they have made some cap room, or do you think both of those guys are still going to find their way elsewhere? I know Amari
I would
Cooper
hate to see
specifically.
Marcus Lawrence go.
Yeah.
I spoke on that last night
Hmm.
and said that's their best player in my opinion. So to let him go would to be erasing everything you've been doing since he's been drafted. But they're dysfunctional, garbage. So I wouldn't be surprised what they do. Honestly, I could see him walking, testing free agency for
Yeah.
sure. And when it comes to Amari Cooper, he's out of there.
Yeah.
That's I feel like
Mad teams want him too.
we're just waiting on where he's going now. I'm gonna go Miami, like I said, he's from there. So or New England would be a great fit. I think that's perfect. Like that's the last piece to their puzzle in terms of mediocrity.
For sure.
That's like their tip. That's their favorite type of wide receiver. Like Amari Cooper is the mold of the
Major
Patriot
wide
wide
receiver.
receiver.
Literally.
Like
Literally.
that, like that is the perfect wide receiver. He's the type to dress up like off the field as like a general patriot. Like that's an actual soldier right there.
See, I'm disagreeing with chat right now. CD a drop machine. CD about to get exposed every game. I hard disagree. I think obviously he has room to grow and he's not a top 5 guy yet, but I think CD Lamb is an excellent wide receiver. The way he separates and his after the catch ability is his yak is crazy. I think he's 100% ready to step into that wide receiver one role, and I don't think there'll be a lack of production without Amari Cooper, in my opinion. I'm not no slight at Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper um, is a great wide receiver, and the Cowboys wouldn't not benefit from keeping him, but I don't agree. I think Amari Cooper is definitely that. CeeDee Lamb is definitely that guy, in my humble opinion. I don't know if you got any thoughts.
Yeah, but I think that they're right when it comes to letting Amari Cooper go. CD Lamb is as good as he is because of Amari
Okay,
Cooper's presence. I mean,
okay,
let's be real. Amari Cooper gets double teamed
yeah,
now a lot. A lot of people don't know that, but he be getting double teamed. So for him to put in CD Lamb out there to get double teamed is really gonna leave. I know I spoke about their depth at receiver, but I'm talking about when you have Amari Cooper, CD Lamb at the X and Z. Without them, then 4 and 5 aren't really gonna be those guys. So they trade that, get rid of that. I mean, and get rid of Jerry Jones and McCarthy. Like until that guy's not running an organization anymore, we know where they'll be.
yeah. I don't want to turn this into a big rant,
Garbage.
but I've been a big Dak supporter for a while. But yeah, after what happened last year in the playoffs, that was his moment, right? And I had said that back on our stream. I said if he's gonna cement his legacy, if he's gonna establish himself as a truly elite guy, he needed to go out there and beat the 49ers, and he folded. I mean, it wasn't the worst game I ever seen, but you need to be able to win that game if you're gonna put yourself in the conversation with Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and Joey Burrow and whoever else. And he's not. So I think the Cowboys would definitely be smart to move on from him, but they did give him that big ass extension 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So I,
Johnny Fleet said they gotta cut Aaron Rodgers' hair if they lose. Like, bro.
yo, Aaron Rodgers is really a sicko. Did you notice that? I was watching Pat McAfee this morning, and Pat McAfee had asked Aaron Rodgers if he wanted to come on the show and like if he wanted to talk about it, and Aaron Rodgers was like, nah, like I don't want to be public about it. I just wanted to let you know you could break the news, and that's that. But then as soon as Russell Wilson and that gets announced, Aaron Rodgers want to go on Twitter. So yeah, guys, it's true. I'm re-signing with like nope. We know nobody cares. Like he's really that's really the number one diva in the league. Talk about Odell. Talk about AB. This Aaron Rodgers loves
Hey, let's
attention,
talk
bro.
about it.
Aaron Rodgers loves attention, and for what? For what?
Yeah, that's just his outlet. I mean, we definitely gotta we definitely gotta shut that down because we're definitely not gonna have this guy reporting weekly Pat McAfee with the BS, like following up.
All right, let's go over a few more pieces of news and then get out of here. This is gonna be a shorter stream. We did stream yesterday. It will be posted to YouTube, so make sure that if y'all missed that one, y'all check it out. Make sure you also follow us on here, subscribe on here. If you all have that in your heart, also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. That really helps us grow and just get noticed by other people and stuff like that. So, um, to wrap up this stream, though, Kansas City Chiefs went ahead and re-signed Josh Gordon, according to Ian Rappaport. And this is my whole point, going back to that conversation when we were comparing the two offenses between the Broncos and the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offense is really so ass. They got to keep bringing back Josh Gordon, bro. Like this is like the fourth year in a row they got Josh. They brought back Josh
That's
Gordon, bro.
Patrick Mahomes, bro.
It
That's
has to
all
be. It
Patrick
has to
Mahomes
be.
calling those type of shots, man. He's been picking every pick in the draft. They paid this guy $1 billion. I mean, he runs the whole state of Missouri. He might have directed Ozark for all we know. This guy's a freak control freak. This guy's a control freak. I mean, there's no way that he didn't watch Josh Gordon growing up. We gonna keep that nigga. You're not getting rid of him. I mean, like, Pat, what you want to do? I mean, we know the type of guy Andy Reid is. He's like, does Andy Reid really care?
Definitely not. He don't care. He gonna cook with whoever he got back there. So.
Andy Reid got a play from 2014 for Josh Gordon that he been waiting to score on till he scores. He's not going
That's
anywhere.
facts. The Los Angeles Chargers, they also announced that they will be signing their wide receiver Mike Williams to a 3-year, $60 million deal. So a huge payday for that guy. Happy for him. Definitely think he's one of the more underrated wide receivers in the league. A huge target for Justin Herbert, and it's really good that they did go ahead and make this signing, because it was reported that if he were to go ahead and enter free agency, the Chiefs would be a huge suitor. And I think Mike Williams in Kansas City would have been a nightmare, not just for Los Angeles, but for the entire league. I think that would have definitely gave them that extra oomph, because he's a deep threat. He's a guy that can win 50-50 balls. Not saying they don't got that already. Obviously, got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey, but on top of those two, adding Mike Williams would have been crazy. So Justin Herbert got one of his guys back. Um, any thoughts on that contract and just Mike Williams in general?
Has the guy had a full season?
Not sure, honestly.
Me either. I don't believe so. We know his talent undeniable. I mean, the whole Chargers receiver core is like basketball players.
It's a good take.
I mean, that's really how they're built, and that's how the offense is structured to get them separated one on one downfield in jump ball situations. I mean, that's the entire offense. But I do think that he's a huge piece, possibly the number one receiver. I mean, I know Keenan Allen obviously is that guy, but Mike Williams is still he gets just as many targets, I feel like. And he's just as effective in that offense, especially in the red zone. But I don't know, bro. I'm just worried about the head coach.
Yeah,
You're only gonna go as far as your coaches take you.
Brandon Staley is definitely on pack watch all year long for sure. I personally gave him the benefit of the doubt year one. He was a rookie head coach, but nah, he is under the microscope this year. We will be keeping a
That
very.
Brandon Staley pack is right there when you walk in to the store. Like, you know it's always
It's
there. It's gonna
obtainable. It's
be
like
there.
Blue Dream. It's like Blue Dream.
It's always there. Like, you know that pack in stock. That pack is
All
in stock.
right, let's close out with some franchise tags. Today was the deadline for teams to add franchise tags to players. So if they didn't, oh, actually, real quick before we move on to that, I don't have it in front of me. Let me actually see if I can pull it up. The Titans did not franchise tag their pass rusher, Harold Landry, but it turns out that was because they did actually go ahead and sign a deal with him. Um, Let me see if I can find the contract details of that.
A big
Yeah,
deal.
5-year, $87.5 million extension. So he will not be hitting free agency. He will be staying with the Titans. 25 years old, coming off of a great season. I think he had like 11 sacks last year, 12 sacks last year, 75 tackles, and was selected to his first career Pro Bowl. So Titans think they got their pass rusher of the future, and hopefully he could build off of a great season now that he's gotten his money. Um,
He's a monster.
Definitely.
He's unblockable. He's smart. He's reliable. I mean, he's a captain. The guy. He's a monster. That's smart.
Definitely,
letting him test the market.
he would have been scooped immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah. So shout out to Harold Landry. Congrats on that contract extension. Let's go ahead and talk about these franchise tags, and then we can wrap this up. The Cowboys use their franchise tag on tight end Dalton Schultz. I like Schultz. I think he's been pretty solid for them ever since they got rid of Goddard to the. I think he went to the Eagles, I believe. Um, Schultz stepped right in, I think, and he was performing really, really well actually, especially when Dak was hurt. He was very, very useful for. Who was playing backup quarterback for the? Um, was it Cooper Rush?
Who?
Who was the backup quarterback for the Cowboys this year?
Danucci?
Was it Danucci? It was somebody. Whoever the backup quarterback, him and Schultz,
They were two.
they were eating.
They were different backup quarterbacks this year.
Okay. So yeah, the Cowboys did go ahead and franchise tag Dalton Schultz, so he'll be making a nice paycheck here this year. The Green Bay
He's
Packers,
definitely worth that money. If people think that they shouldn't have paid him, you're
dumb.
respect. We'll call you dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, call you dumb.
No, we drafted go there. So who was their tight end before Schultz? It was somebody pretty good.
Yeah,
His
the
first name just that. Nah, it
Witten,
wasn't Witten. Was it Witten?
bro.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
I was Jason. Oh
For
yeah, oh
sure,
yeah,
bro.
oh yeah. I've been
I feel like he could still play. Honestly, I was surprised when he had called it quits.
his own. He came back for the Raiders. That's how you know he can still play. You ain't even know.
No way. No way.
I swear to God,
Well, the
bro.
last time I
I swear
seen
to
him on
God,
Dallas,
bro.
he was hooping. So that's how you know for sure that it's been a while since they've had a good tight end.
but but yeah, Dalton Schultz, his franchise tag is worth $10.93 million. So nice little payday for him this year, and they'll probably go ahead and try to work out a contract extension because I definitely think he's a good tight end in this league. Um, Next is, like I mentioned, we talked about it earlier. Devonte Adams did go ahead and sign that franchise tag with the Green Bay Packers. There was a chance that he would go ahead and leave once if Aaron Rodgers left, but that's his guy. I mean, the connection they got, it's like peanut butter and jelly, hot sauce and fried chicken. I mean, they're elite
Joey
together.
B and Laj.
So he signed his franchise tag, which is worth $20.14 million. So 20 mil this year. That's a whew, whew, in a year's work. He's definitely worth it though. I mean, Devonte Adams, you can argue he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. And he has been for the past couple years, and I don't think there'll be any drop off now that he's still
Unstoppable.
literally,
An unstoppable force.
literally. um, so congrats to him on this payday. Hopefully they can go ahead and work out an extension.
17 caliber.
I think this is definitely one of those guys where he's not going to play on the franchise tag. They'll probably definitely work out something before that July 15th deadline. Now that they have Aaron Rodgers locked down for the next 4 years, I could definitely see him signing a similar contract, 3 4 years, upwards of $100 million. So um, moving along, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they use their franchise tag on their left tackle Cam Robinson. Now this is big news because a lot of people have been mocking Evan Neal to the Jaguars at 1 overall. A lot of people, that's been the trendy pick nowadays, where Evan Neal is going to be a Jag. But if the Jaguars are using their franchise tag on a left tackle, do you think they would draft a tackle, or do you think now
Absolutely.
another one?
I just think that they can have more than one, and they need more than
Agreed.
one. Let's be real. They got to protect Trevor Lawrence. They just seen what happened to Joe Burrow, and they're a pretty similar team, a franchise. Let's be honest, history wise, and in terms of status. Obviously, they're a superstar, a playmaker away, but they went to overtime last year. Let's not forget that primetime game Thursday night, and it was looking like the college football playoff all over again. So I think that they need to protect Trevor Lawrence by all means and get as many linemen as they can, especially ones that have some type of chemistry there already. And I don't think that that necessarily means they are settled. I don't think that that means they're going to go DN at number one. But It could.
Yeah.
What would you do? How do you think
So I
they should
I feel like
approach
the
that
Jags are
pick?
gonna do something
Because I'm not.
wild.
I don't know. I don't know about DM, bro. I'm not convinced. I feel like
They
this
got Josh
class
Allen.
is
They don't need
crazy.
a
They'll be
DN,
picking at 33. They can get a good edge rusher at 33, bro. They can get first round talent, second round once again, like they did. They fumbled last year with their two. Won't even try and talk about it, but they can get good talent at edge in the second round this year. They don't have to do that with a number one pick. They can still go. They can go Evan Neal. I mean, that'd be fire. That'd just be that, bro. Given you, we know Trevor Lawrence can make. He showed he can make almost every throw this year. Like he's with a full off season, I would expect him to have a good season next year. So definitely keep that guy upright and get some real weapons after you get edge. How you feel?
so I'm about to be on some 5,000 IQ, some big brain GM shit, right? So what I would do if I was the Jags GM, I'm trading that first pick. I'm trading back. I'm trying to get two first round picks, and I'm taking a wide receiver and whoever the hell else they need, the corner, def or safety or whatever, Kyle Hamilton. I'm taking J-Mo and Kyle Hamilton or something like that in the first round. I would tell them to take a wide receiver
Hmm.
first overall, but there is no wide receiver, I believe. Like I feel like the players that are worth
Kyle Hamilton, Kyle Hamilton, and the skills player is definitely, yeah, that's some shit, bro.
right. I,
That'd be crazy. That'd be
Uh,
crazy.
now, I like your idea too. Your Trevor Lawrence is the franchise, right? 100%. He is the franchise. You need to protect your franchise. I know you're a Bengals fan. I'm a Steelers fan. We both saw it this year. What a trash ass offensive line can do. Obviously, obviously, y'all overcame it better than we
Trash
did.
ass offensive line.
But that O line cost y'all a Super Bowl.
We're talking grown men getting bull rush on back to back plays in the Super Bowl. Garbage.
Kyle Hamilton's the future Eagle. That's fire. Wherever he's gonna go, I could see him on the Jets too. Kyle Hamilton. I think he'd be a good fit for them too. But I don't know. I
I don't
think
like how the Jets treat their safeties.
that's true.
It kind of ruined them.
Yeah,
But
that's true. But they treat their corners nice. So maybe they get a corner or something. They got pretty good corners already. They got
yeah,
Bryce Hall and um oh boy from Rutgers.
if the Jets don't get the Jets need to go offense. I feel like it's not that like they need
Garrett
to go
Wilson, Chris
offense.
Olave,
They
J
need
Mo,
to
something like
they
that.
need to go wide receiver.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like that'll make everyone else they have that will make everyone else they have jobs so much easier.
for sure. But yeah, like I said, I could see the Jags if they go ahead and still just stock up on O
They
line.
definitely need to trade back, bro. That's a
But
great take.
trading
Not to
back,
cut you off,
nah,
but that's a great take. Because you
right?
look at this year's draft, there's no clear cut number one overall. Gotta have that
Got
guy.
it. There's
Like
not
not saying there's a lot of players worth a number one
for
overall
sure.
pick, but it's a lot. It's 1 through 10, 15, I'd say, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's 15 different players that can change your franchise, but they're all in the same tier this
And a
year.
lot of them are the same position. There's like three or four DNs, like that I could see them taking a couple of offensive linemen, but like the position of needs that I feel like the Jaguars need, like wide receiver, they isn't really worth the first overall pick. Now, offensive line they need as well, so if they want to go ahead and make that play for sure, but I think trading back
They
would be
gotta
smart.
go. I would just yeah, they have to, bro. They're in a great position to really
Make
they
moves.
a Kyle Hamilton though.
Yeah.
They need a player like that. I've seen it
That would
with my own
change
two
that would
eyes.
change their
What a
entire
young
defense.
safety will do.
hmm
A young elite safety will do.
I
Yup.
seen
And
it
you
too.
bring him
Minka.
around some dogs and
Think
some
about the Steelers defense, how trash that shit was for the past 10 years. Minka came, we're alive again. I mean, obviously we got some other guys, but he was a big factor in that. So yeah, Kyle
yeah.
Hamilton, a franchise changing player, defensive general kind of guy. Um, but let's move off that. We're going to talk a lot about the draft in upcoming weeks. We're going to do some mock drafts uh, upcoming on a couple of streams. So definitely stay tuned for those as we will give our takes a lot more about that. The Dolphins, they went ahead and used their franchise tag though on Mike Gieski. I don't really know how to pronounce his name.
Jaceki.
Gesicki. Another very, very good tight end. I think somebody that would have been highly prioritized if he would have went to free agency. Somebody who would have really got picked up fast. I think very, very underrated. The Dolphins haven't really been the best team, so he hasn't really got shown a lot of love. But he is productive. He's strong. He can block. He can run any route. He can play outside in the
Touchdown
slot,
machine.
touchdown machine, red zone threat. So
He kind of reminds me of Tyler Eifert.
a good Tyler Eifert, like prime Tyler Eifert,
Yeah, his in his prime, not MAGA Eifert.
and not
Let me
no.
fix that. Let me correct myself.
Yeah.
Not MAGA Eifert. Tyler Eifert
Mhm.
from 2015. In that year only. Next topic.
I'll definitely respect that. Yeah, his franchise tag was worth $10.93 million, so nice little payday for him. And then finally, um, Chris Chris Godwin again, second year in a row. He is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are using their franchise tag on him, so it looks like he will be a Buccaneer. Again, this year Godwin will be due roughly, excuse me, roughly $19.18 million. So nice little payday
I
for
think
him.
that if he wouldn't have got hurt, that
He would have got
he
extended.
would have been a free agent.
Mm.
No, I don't think they would have. I don't know. I don't think if they didn't come to a deal now, why do you think that was? Because he was hurt. So I think if he got paid, like if he didn't get hurt, then he would have. They would have had to pay him a lot, and I don't know where their priorities are right now, bro.
Well,
I don't. What's going on? Like I feel like they might be
that's
in on a quarterback.
I
I know
don't.
you believe in
I
Kyle
think I think
Trask.
that's what it's for. Honestly, I think they're. We talked about it in the chat, and I had mentioned,
Really? I just
bro, they
I can't
drafted
imagine.
Kyle
I
Trask in
got
the second round, not the fifth round, bro. He's not a fifth round. He was a second round. Come on,
But
bro.
I've seen AJ McCarron's. I've seen second round picks. Bro. I've
Kyle
seen
Trask, hey
I've seen
AJ. Kyle
but
Trask
no, you're right. I mean the Bucks be hitting on the draft though. The Bucks are one of the most slept on teams when it comes to
drafting,
I know that they yeah,
especially
I know the
recently.
Bucks be hitting for
And I
sure.
like.
But
I mean, he was with Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, and Byron Leftwich, bro. There's no way he didn't learn anything. Like, there's no way he's gonna be ass. He might not be elite. He might not be a starter for many years, but if he gets his opportunity, I think he will be fine. And I think this is them kind of putting more confidence in him. Here's a wide receiver you've been playing with. You've been throwing the ball to the past 2 years of your career. He'll be comfortable. He'll have guys that can make plays for him. Because if they would have let Godwin walk, you throw Kyle Trask out there with Mike Evans and who the hell, the ghost of Antonio Brown. he he's not doing nothing. But you bring back another veteran wide receiver who was looking like their best player last year before he got hurt. Now you have a little bit more faith and confidence. Kyle, you don't got to be the best. You just got to be a game manager, which is what he's been asked to do his whole career. Just get the ball to your playmakers efficiently.
they're not winning a Super Bowl with Kyle Trask being a game manager. There's no way.
I mean, that's
You
fair.
see what not in my opinion. I mean
Yeah.
they can win games, but if they want to get back to where they just went to, they're not even gonna get to an NFC chip like that. I think that we could see Jimmy G maybe or a quarterback in free
Go
agency
in there and compete with
make
him.
their way to Tampa
Yeah.
and compete. I was just gonna say not necessarily be that QB1, but compete. And if he can win that job, then I'm convinced for sure. Because I don't know. I feel like if Kyle, because I think that people forget. Like, no, he's not the fastest guy, but he can move a little
And they
bit.
said he changed his body. They said he was more athletic now than he was at Florida.
Like he can roll out. I'm saying like
Hmm
he can extend the
He
play
can, and his
more so
pocket
than
presence.
just
I mean,
standing there, Andy Dalton, take a sack
that
and laugh.
his first year, that's all he did was get sacked. His awareness was ass. His time, like he didn't understand how fast the pass rush was getting there. And then you saw his senior year, he was much more mobile in the pocket, and he was able to move around and avoid pass rushers. And then he's continuing to take that step, and like you said, extend plays now, move outside the pocket,
Laterally, I mean, I
left and
don't mean
right.
juke people
Yeah,
out. I
no, he's
mean
not.
like yeah,
Hell no.
like
But
you know,
he's big and he's strong as
similar
well.
to how Philip Rivers would extend
And I
plays.
think that's underrated. People don't realize Kyle Trask is 6'5", like 260 pounds. Like that is a big boy. Now they did mention he slimmed out a little bit, but I mean, it's not like he's some small guy where you're gonna arm tackle him. You're gonna have to wrap his ass up and take him down. So
And they'll have a run game, so yeah, we'll
we'll
see.
see.
No, I
We'll see.
believe you, bro.
We'll see. I'm not gonna sit here and say bring it to the bank, but I'm and it's also my bias, but I believe. I believe for sure. Um, and that actually does wrap it up for franchise tags. Um, one last bit of news before we get out of here. Um, Jimmy G did undergo surgery. It was successful on his throwing shoulder. And the plan is for Jimmy G to be ready and throwing again well before training camp. So He should have a nice smooth recovery, and whatever team he does find his way to, he should be ready for training camp to go ahead and compete for that starting job. Um, so happy for Jimmy G with that, and no setbacks or anything like that. Um, but all right, that does go ahead and wrap it up for the news today. It was a little bit longer than we originally expected, but I mean, we ain't mad. That's just what the NFL is nowadays, especially the off season. There's gonna be content all the time, every day,
And we had to like that Pack Staley.
for sure,
Had to get in on Brandon Staley
for sure.
because that guy chose not to go to the playoffs on
Uh,
purpose on live TV, and we did not
he
forget.
blessed it though. He really blessed it though. I appreciate it. I appreciate him and the Colts and the Jags because the Colts folded and the Jags whooped the Colts ass. So shout out, shout out to the family. You feel me?
The Colts, man. Oh, brother.
That's another team we'll get into discussing because they're a mess. Who's their quarterback?
We're gonna do a thing where we're gonna fix your team for you. We're gonna do a perfect mock draft, and we're gonna fix all 32 teams
For
and
sure.
show you their paths to the Super Bowl.
For sure. So once again, thanks everybody who tuned in tonight. This will be uploaded to YouTube as well as our episode from last night. We'll be going live like every single week randomly. I mean, if there's big news, we'll definitely be here to cover it. So make sure y'all follow the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the stream as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. We'll be posting updates and memes and content all over the place. Thanks a lot for everybody's support. 2022 is going to be a great year. Is any last thoughts, statements, words, anything?
No, sir. Just shouts out to y'all. If you pulled up tonight to the stream, definitely keep tuning in because we're gonna be coming heavy with content all year and for the rest of eternity. And you already know, go dogs. Who they? We going back to back.
Thanks for tuning in. Go guide. Peace.